Hello, my friends. Alicia Lynn Diaz here, the creator of the Enlightened Body System and the Soul of Healing Summit. And I was just in my Enlightened Body group doing our weekly Q&A, and one of the women in our group asked about how to cope with menopause symptoms and particularly hot flashes. And I know that this is probably a symptom or a thing that many of you are dealing with, or someone, a lady in your life that you love is potentially dealing with. So I thought I would shed some light on this and give you some very quick, easy, practical tips to overcome the dreaded hot flashes. So for one, a little bit of background is that one of the primary causes of the menopause symptoms and hot flashes specifically is excess heat and inflammation in the body. So from the Ayurvedic system of medicine, the way that we look at the body is through the lens of the elements. And when there's elements that are in excess, when the fire element, for example, is in excess in the body, this shows up as heat. It shows up as headaches. Sometimes it shows up as even nausea or acid reflux. It can show up as fevers and higher temperature or just excessive sweating. It can show up as sensitivity in the eyes, and it can show up as hair fall and hair thinning, premature graying. It can show up as hair, just like thinning and hair loss. And when you think about heat and fire, the fire element itself, heat rises. So when there's a big imbalance in the body, and this is, like I said, this is a kind of a general overview of kind of looking at systemically and holistically the whole body, not just the myopic view of the hormones themselves and what's out of balance, but we look at the bigger picture of, okay, heat's rising and it's causing all of these things, or it's just in excess in the body and it's inflamed in certain tissues. So the things that I want to share with you today are actually good for not just menopause symptoms and hot flashes, but they're actually good for any signs of, like I just described, of excess heat in the body, acid reflux, and all of those things as well. But back to the original topic. So specifically, I want to share with you a couple breathwork practices, a self-body healing practice, as well as some dietary recommendations that will just support the overall reduction of the excess heat in the body. Okay, so first off, I always like to start with a practice. One of the things we just did in our group, and that I do in my Enlightened Belly Gut Reset group, I have a digestive group that is going through a gut reset, which will be launched in January in the new year. So if you're looking to totally reboot your health and vitality and energy, you can join my email list to learn when we open the doors. It's just at alicialyndiaz.com. I also share lots of recipes and all the how-to steps and tips and mindset tools and healing practices via email. So you can sign up at my email, www.alicialyndiaz.com, and get all of the goodies there. But one of the things that I just shared in, one of the things I like to do within the groups is always start with a practice. So no matter what you are trying to heal in your body, whether it's the menopause challenge with like hot flashes, or it's acid reflux in your body, there's always a stress component. So the first thing I would always start with would be breath work, and would be taking a few deep breaths to just bring all of your energy back to yourself. Because oftentimes when we get really scattered in our day-to-day life and our attention is taken in a million different directions, right? It actually causes friction in our body, right? You can feel the agitation and the friction when your attention and your thoughts and your mind is and your everything that is being called forth from you is scattered in many directions. So it creates friction. And what does friction do in the body? It creates heat. It creates inflammation. So the first practice is simply to just call all parts of yourself back to yourself. And you can do that simply in a breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can do it with me. You can simply do it by saying out loud, in one moment of total presence, I call all parts of myself back to myself right now. So you can say that with me. I call all parts of myself back to myself right now. And just see how that feels. Just a little moment of recentering with yourself can actually, over time, really help dissipate some of that extra energy, extra fire element, extra inflammation in the body. So once you do that and kind of reconnect with your body, with your breath, here's one breath practice. I have a whole bunch of breath practices that I go through in the training. But here's the most important one, especially when it comes to menopause or just balancing, just cooling off the body when there's excess heat and inflammation. So the breath practice is very simple. So there's two different ways to do it. One, you either want to make a straw out of your tongue, like this. Actually, some people don't have the genetic ability to make that shape with their tongue. So if you can't do that, then I'll show you the second option. But basically what you're going to do is inhale through the straw, close your mouth, feel the coolness in your mouth, and swallow if you have cool saliva there, and then exhale through your nose. So inhale through the straw, close your mouth, exhale through the nose. Now, if you can't make that shape, you're going to do the same thing, but just open your mouth slightly and kind of pull cool air across your tongue. And then close your mouth, swallow if you need, and exhale through the nose. So your tongue is connected to your nervous system, and actually cooling the saliva and pulling cool air across the tongue actually cools your body temperature down because it helps your whole nervous system cool down. So you can do this practice as many times throughout the day, especially if you're a woman having hot flashes. Before you go to sleep, you can do this practice right before you go to bed to help calm and cool your entire system. Practice number 2. This one I shared with a client a number of years ago. It was the first practice I gave her. I worked with her through an entire program of balancing her hormones and getting rid of her menopause symptoms. But the very first practice I gave her was this. Before she went to bed, I had her put a certain kind of herbal oil on the bottom of her feet. And these herbs are actually the bottom of your feet and your hands. It's like a map of all your internal organs. Putting this herbal oil on the bottom of your feet actually helps pull the heat and inflammation out of your body. So instead of the heat rising, right, and this is really, really great if you have any kind of like premature graying or hair fall, but you put this herbal oil on the bottom of your feet and it pulls the heat out of your body as you sleep so you can get good sleep. Now, I remember I gave her this practice and she called me the next day and she was like, Alicia, it was like turning the knob down on the oven. It was like pressing the button of the thermostat down. She said, I hadn't been able to sleep in months, and you gave me this one practice and it was like I could feel my body temperature going down. So this is a really, really helpful practice. And the bonus is it helps you sleep well at night. So the herbal oil, there's a couple different herbal oils you can use. For excess heat in the body, you can use simply coconut oil, which isn't quite as strong as the herbalized oil, but if you have that at home, you can use that immediately. You want to stay away from like sesame oil, which is a little bit heating for this particular practice. There's 3 different kinds of oils that Banyan Botanicals makes that are all good for this practice. One is, actually there's 4 that you could use, different oils that you can use. One is just simply Pitta massage oil, and I'll put links in the comments if you're interested in looking into any of these oils. Pitta massage oil, Pitta is the Sanskrit word, the Ayurvedic term for heat, for fire. So Pitta massage oil is actually, it's in oil infused with all the cooling properties that help drain the heat out of your body. So you can massage your feet with Pitta oil. You can also do a full body massage with this oil as well. There's another oil called Brahmi oil. You can get that in a coconut base as well. This is really good. You can doubly use this oil to massage your scalp, your ears, and it helps bring mental alertness and focus to your day. That's Brahmi oil. And then there's another oil called Bringaraj oil. So if you're having premature graying or hair fall, hair thinning, this is the oil that you want to massage into your scalp to help reduce the excess fire element in the hair follicles. And then there's also a formula that they have called healthy hair oil, which would all be used for the same thing. But these 4 oils are actually really cooling. And thanks for the hearts. It's so good to see you guys here live. Thank you. I'd love to hear comments, questions, anything that comes up for you on this topic. But massage this oil onto the bottom of your feet before you go to bed, and it will reduce inflammation. It'll help you sleep soundly, and it will reduce the thermostat on the hormones that are going out of whack, that are causing the hot flashes in the first place. So this is also great even if you're, well, there's a number of other things. Let me not go off on a million tangents, but it's just great if you just have sore feet because you're an athlete and you want to reduce your recovery time. That's what I was going to say. So many great uses of these. So I'll link to the oils, the names, because I know some of the names are unfamiliar. But you can also use coconut oil for that. Okay, third thing is diet. So one of the diet and your digestive system, your digestive health. So one of the reasons that heat becomes excess in the body is sometimes it gets displaced from where it needs to be. So when I say where it needs to be, you have a fire in your body, your digestive fire. So you want the fire in your stomach. You want your stomach to be producing good hydrochloric acid to digest, absorb, and assimilate the nutrients in the foods that you're eating so that you have energy and vitality and health and you live a long, happy, healthy life. So if the fire gets displaced, sometimes it gets displaced out into the tissues in the body, which cause other inflammatory problems in other organs. Sometimes it gets displaced into the endocrine system, throws the hormones off, and this is part of the reason, the topic that we're talking about today, menopause and hot flashes. So we want to make sure that the gut is optimized for health and vitality and to be able to absorb, digest, assimilate all the nutrients of the foods that you're putting in. And that's where kind of the gut reset comes in. So I mentioned that at the turn of the new year in January, I'll be running the next group of Enlightened Belly, which is a 21-day gut reset. You get simple tips every single day to totally revitalize your health and your gut health and get to the root cause of why these things are imbalanced in your body. So if you want information about that, you can just go to my website, alicialyndiaz.com, and just sign up for my newsletter. And I give lots of great free tips and things in my newsletters, and I'll also let you know when the doors open to that program. But I'd really love to give your whole system a digestive reboot, because this is one of the root causes of why these symptoms are happening in the first place. But there are a couple dietary things you can do right now without going through the whole gut reset. And so there are foods you want to favor and then foods you want to kind of reduce in your diet. So if you're having a lot of heat, inflammation, all the things that I've been mentioning throughout this video, you want to reduce or avoid heating foods, very salty foods, fried foods, fermented foods, that are things that are hot and spicy, fermented and sour. So these all increase the inflammation in the body. So you want to reduce things. Yes, sauerkraut, it's hot. Lemons and things that are very acidic foods, meats and things, and aged cheeses, they also create a lot of acidity in the body. Wheat and those types of things also create a lot of inflammation. So you want to reduce those for the time being, and then you want to favor foods that are cooling and soothing. Healthy sweet foods are actually good here. So dates and fresh fruit, fresh ripe fruits, sweet fruits more so than sour fruits. When I say sour fruits, I mean like citrus acidic fruits versus like fruits that are like sweet cherries, sweet grapes, those kinds of things that you enjoy. Whatever's in season right now. Pomegranates are in season, and those are very anti-inflammatory and cooling. So you want to think about that. Lots of leafy green vegetables, those are really cooling. Cucumber salads, fresh mint, cilantro, these are all very, very cooling. You can make tea out of cumin, coriander, and fennel seeds. CCFT, we call it. CCFT is very cooling and anti-inflammatory. So these are all just some different kind of dietary things that you can think of, that I'm thinking just off the top of my head that you can do right away to help cool these hot flashes symptoms. Sarah asked a question, no bananas, right? So bananas are considered sour, so those could be a little bit heating. The sweeter and more ripe the banana is, the less inflammatory it is. The more green the banana is, the more sour it can be, so the more heating it'll be. So, you know, kind of keep that in mind. Any questions I can answer for you guys? It's so great to be here with you today. Like I said, go to my website, www.alicialyndiaz.com. You have the spelling right there, my name on my profile, and sign up for my newsletter. That way I can keep the recipes and tips and things, all the thriving health practices coming to you right into your inbox. And then I'll also let you know when the Enlightened Belly Gut Reset, that's the next program I'm launching in the new year, which is a really simple, super great energy people in this group. And it's a 21-day gut reset. We just had the beta group go through it in the fall, and the testimonials were raving. So I'm so excited to share this with you again once the doors open again. And thanks for being here with me today. I'd love to hear in the comments any other questions, health-related questions and things, and I will dedicate a video to you. So sending you lots of love, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye for now.